have. So from Dhamma, actually, then I started reading suttas and everything. Oh, this is the way to give, and we feel very happy that you give where something you have, where you have confidence, and they don't actually like um, it is a compulsory thing, or it is you have to give this, then only you will get Dhamma, or those type of things. That clarity was increasing in me, like eventually, from the time I started Dhamma to now, yeah, it is like one criteria is that I should feel happy whenever I get that thought of giving. Like some people or some places, if you give, sometimes when you think you're compelled to give, but when you think about that, you don't feel happy. But some places, even if it doesn't matter of it is a $1 or $100, or $2,000, you should feel happy. What is the Dana Sutta that you are showing? Which is that Sutta? What is the name of that?
Even I am searching. I mean, she was talking about it.
I saw something called the Dana Mahapala Sutta, but I don't know if it's the same one.
But Vilaji, there is that you're saying where he's the best in giving the best things, and this person is best in giving the appropriate things, because he was, I think, in Anguttara Nikaya, he was clarifying the foremost disciples, lay disciples.
So he asked this, Siyanu ko bhante ide kachassa tadi samyeva danam dinnam na mahaphalam hoti na maha nisamisam. Nisamisa is, Samisa is, that, right? Samisa and Niramisa. Nisamisa, that is, which is really peaceful. It gives you a peace at the end. So when you donate. So while says that, while Siya Panabhante ide kachas Tadi Samveva Danam Dinnam Mahapalam Hoti Maha Nisamin Iti. So he says, Siya Sariputta ide kachas Tadi Samyeva Danam Dinnam na Mahaphalam Hoti na Maha Nisamisam. Siya Pana Sariputta ide kachas Tadi Samyeva Danam Dinnam Mahaphalam Hoti Maha Nisaminsa. So he asked, ko nu ko bante hetu ko pachayo yena midhe kachasa tadi samyeva danam dinnam na mahapalam hoti na maha nisas maha nisamsam. Ko nu ko bante hetu ko pachayo. So he asked, why it's that somebody gives and it doesn't really get in a good fruit, and why somebody gives and it gets into good fruit? What are the reasons? So then he says here, Idha, this one you see, this is a very important thing. He says, Idha Sariputta. This Sariputta. Ekacho sapekho danam deti pati baddha chitto danam deti sannidhi pekho danam deti imam pecha paribhunja sasmim iti danam deti. So they give it as though they want to keep it. They're not just giving just for as giving. He says patibaddho. Patibaddho means, pati means bond. Baddha is bound by that, right? Like I give something to you, but I still feel it's mine with you in the mind. So it is a contracting feeling. That contracting feeling is in the chitta. It's called a Sankhita chitta. If you look at the Satipatthana Sutta, there is a chitta called Sankhita, and there's Vikitta, distracted. Sankhita is contracting. It just contracts, right? So I give something, but I still feel, okay, giving is good, so I've given it, but I still feel that item is mine. There's a connection to that item. So every now and then I give a call and ask, hey, how is it doing? How is that thing what I gave is doing? Hope you're using it in a better way. Basically, he's given, but there is some holding on to it. And that dana is not going to help much. So then what happens? Sandhi pekho danam deti imam pecha paribhunjasami iti danam deti. So because I'm giving this in my next life, I will be enjoying it. I'll enjoy much more than what I've given. Got it? Because by giving up, you get more. So in my mind, I already know if I were to give, it is going to increase. And then I give it. Yeah, Bobby, I just muted. Okay, it's fine. Now it is muted. Don't worry. So what is happening? What is happening in the mind is that I want to give. I am convinced that I have to give, but then I give it thinking like if I give, it's mine, plus it's going to benefit me in my future life. Okay, that will not help. Okay. When that deed, success, fame, and sorrow is spent, they return to the state of existence. So tam kammam khepetva tam idhim tam yasham tam adipacham agama hoti aganta ittatam. So they first go to the heavenly realm because they have given, but after exhausting that, they come back. Why? Because they had interest over that what they gave, thinking that it should come back to me in some form later. So the mind didn't give up in the way it should have been given up. Got the point? Okay, Bobby, since you left, I don't know whether you heard it or not. Yeah, it's fine.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, it's okay. So basically, in this particular case, two things happen. One is that this person is given to someone, he still relishes that whatever has been given. Like I'll take example of my mother. She used to donate a lot. She used to donate to temple. But when she goes to the temple, she recognizes her donations. What's the point? That shouldn't happen. If in the mind there is still a residue of identification, I gave it. Oh, they have used it for this purpose. Then that is samisa sukha, not niramisa sukha. Still tainted with sensuality. Then what happens? Because they have given, they go to the heavenly realm, but they exhaust that and again come back to the same existence. Because they recognize that this is my dana. One. Second, they give it in such a way that they think it will come for their next life. There's a feeling of that if I give this, I will get punya or I'll get merit. So I'm doing meritorious deeds. So there is no real dana per se. It's just a meritorious act. Even in that, this problem will exist. So these are the two cases. Okay. Now, there is a person who gives but doesn't expect anything in return. Who just gives and he doesn't even worry about next life, whether it's going to come or not come or whatever it is. Then what happens? 1 minute, let me book the room. So the next thing he says, Idhapana sariputta ikecho na hetva ko sape ko danam deti na patibaddha chitto danam deti na sannidhi pekko danam deti na imam pecha paribhunjasmi iti danam deti api cha ko sahu dananti danam deti. Okay. Napi sahu danam danam deti api cha ko Dinnapubbam Katapubbam Pitu Pitamahehi Na Arahami Puranam Kulam Sam Hapetunti Danam Deti. Meaning, it's like this. He gives Hevako Sapeko Danam Dete Na Pati Baddha Chitto. He doesn't have a hold on to that. They have put it as investment. It's nothing to do with investment. It's thinking that it still belongs to me. I have given it to him. Okay, that is one. Then Sannidhi. Sannidhi means nearness. So he doesn't treat it, it's there with him anytime. I can go and see. Sannidhi. Or next life. In future, I will get next life or this life itself, but in future, somewhere in the future, I will be enjoying it. So if I have such an intention of not identifying, then that dana will help me in getting into anagami stage. Why? Because it's very clear. Just give me a second. Just a second. Yes, go ahead.
See, now when you're giving a dana, like the identification part is not there. Okay, that is the best. I also at least intellectually agree that. But then, since you are not reached into that state of identification is not gone, you come, sometimes that thought comes, or that makes you happy that you are given to this noble person or a noble community, that makes you feel happy. And then even when that thought comes, you like say in your mind that may all these actions of mine, because these are the good actions you have done in your life, so that will may nipana pachaya hotu, and may it is a cause for my liberation, or understanding the truth. So is how that because your identification is still there, that's why you are not realize the truth. So somebody who is gone, removed that identification, maybe he can give that. But later on, that thought comes, even though at that time when you are doing, you don't have that type of thought. But later on, sometimes you feel happy. Oh, this is. But you have a feeling also that this is your previous. Some memory is there. For example, some remembrance is there. Memory is there. It is not gone. Like this continuity of the consciousness done this.
Yeah. So the practice of dana, I have had this problem of identification. So what needs to be done is, whatever, meaning first I have to get into this understanding that holding on to something is dukkha. Good or bad, it's dukkha. Why? Because it can become bad at any point in time. Okay, so let's say I give some money to the temples, or to a monastery, or to a bhante, or to someone, or something. Even this dhammadana, what I'm doing, right? I'm doing so much. If I get, I'm doing so much. it constricts. You can feel there's some uneasiness happening. Or if there's an identification comes because of uneasiness, you start to identify because you want a bit ease. So when you're at ease, the memories will come that, oh, I have done such a nice thing. I've done a Dhammadana. You see how much I'm doing. Yes, it's a good one. Beneficial. You are benefiting the humankind highest, but there is rebirth because you don't want to let go of it. So I should see the dukkha. So always one secret sauce in Buddha Dhamma is adinava, danger. And the danger is rebirth. So I have to keep on focusing on the rebirth. Do I require rebirth? Do I require rebirth? Does this consciousness require rebirth? Does it require rebirth? Does it require rebirth? If I practice like that, it becomes very easy. Because then there's nothing to hold on to. Yes, Aryu.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking about the case when you feel happy about what you've done, right? Let's say, just like when you see someone else, let's say on the road, they helped someone. Let's say they helped the old lady cross the road. You feel happy for that kind of deed. You feel happy for that. That's a rejoice, right? In that sense. In this case, it's not yours. But in the same way, let's say you did the same thing, and after going home that night, you thought about this act and you feel happy. I don't think that necessarily means you've taken it, mine, I've done it like that, right? You're just happy for this good deed. That's also possible.
No, that is different. That is out of, say, goodwill, compassion, all that, right? So you've seen a lady and she was about to be hit by a car and you helped her, whatever it is, right? That is separate.
And, or just help her cross the road, just like she has trouble. No.
Yes, got it. So that those things certainly brings in merits, but it's nothing to do with dana. We're specifically talking about dana, where the intention is to give, to, right? There's an intention to give. Example, you have donated the laptop to me, but you start thinking about the laptop, whether Vilas will use it in a proper way or not. We're talking about that in this sutta. Because you feel I should be using it in a proper way. One, because that's what he says as an investment, but it's not an investment. It's like, you have given, but there is some connection between that object and you. That's number one. Number two, you have given it because you will get merits. Okay. Number three is that you want to make sure that by giving, you get something in return, meaning the Dhamma or whatever it is, and then that has to come to you. So there's this trade-off between, or trading between what we are doing, right? And what Buddha says, yes, it is good, but it has rebirth, meaning after the good deeds are over, you'll come back to the same existence, is what that sutta is saying. And second instance where he says that nobody has any binding, that person has no binding on that. He just gives it. He's giving it to Dhamma, he just gives it and over. Doesn't bother about it. In your case, you are not bothering. You are not calling me every day saying that, Vilas, hope you are happy with that laptop, be careful, this one, that one. You have never asked me that. And you don't even care. Yes, go ahead.
But in the beginning, after you've used it for a week or two, there will be time where I say, hey, is it good? I mean, that's what's going to be there.
That is fine. That is fine. See, that is not, see that is a very simple thing. Like I was telling Zeal when she was here, is that it's a very way to notice it is that, is it bringing a contraction feeling in the heart or an expansion feeling in the heart? That's the best way to measure. If you're getting a contracting feeling in the heart, it means you're not happy with that. You have a feeling that, does it come to somebody's to that person's use or not, or some worrying is there, right? Some worry, some discomfort, something is there. It's not expanding. See, for Brahma realm, it's expansion, right? For any other realm, it is contraction. Simple. So when we do something, is it leading to expansion? I'll give another example. Now I'm translating the Patisambhidha Magga. Okay. Let's say it's a huge effort. If what I feel, then I have to look at how Sariputta would have done that. And compared to him, this is nothing. It's absolutely trash, right? Okay. So now there are two ways of dealing with that. One way to deal with it is that look at the person whom you're following. Can be Buddha, Sariputta, whatever it is. How much they have done. When compared to that, what is my little bit I'm doing? It's nothing. When they are not owning anything, how can I then say that, look, I'm translating, I'm doing this, I'm doing that? Looks stupid. So then the mind expands. Instantaneously, the mind expands. That Jinapanjara Sutta is only for that, actually. So not to have the mind contracting at any point in time. Okay. Now why? Because it stops the obligation thing in the mind. You don't feel obligated. You do it because that's a sensible thing to do, not because it's an obligation. Anything that's an obligation, you're obligated means you are in some kind of debt. So you're trying to settle the debt, which is transactional. And when it's transactional, you can see it's contracting. When there's no transaction, when there is nothing as a debt, that's the reason Buddha compares Kamachanda to a debt. Because you will see that it is going to create that kind of hanging on or getting imprisoned within that. That means the mind gets imprisoned by that. So you just expand it. Just watch. Is it expanding? Yes, it's expanding. That's it. Doesn't matter. Like whether it takes me 30 days to do this or 100 days to do this or 500 days to do it, or maybe my whole lifetime will go in this Patisambhidha Magga Pali. It's fine. Absolutely fine. It's my tribute to Sariputta. If I could think that way, instantaneously my mind expands. If I see that how many people are going to see this, so I go look at the website statistics, how many people have clicked on that and all that. That's Samisa Sukha. It's not Niramisa. Because my intent is not about giving that Dhamma. My intent is that people should know that I have translated it. Or I have taken effort of translating. Which makes no sense. Because it's contracting. What if only 10 people see? Let's take another way. I make some videos and nobody sees, 0 views. Doesn't matter. What if there are 1 million views? Doesn't matter. What it meant is that it has reached 1 million people. You have donated this to 1 million people. Okay. And if no viewer is there, means they're yet to get it over. You did what you were supposed to do. You have given up. So the mind still expands, irrespective of the consequence. Yes, it's an effort. Definitely it's an effort. Dana is an effort only. Without effort, how can you do a dana? So for me to do this dana, I have to type out, I have to edit, I have to go through it, even if I'm using some tool for translation, still I need to do that. I need to be happy for the tool because somebody developed that tool. It's made my life easier, but then I have to edit. I have to see whether this makes this word makes sense here, doesn't make sense here. Those things I have to do. For whom? For whom I'm doing it? No one. You're giving up. You're just giving it. That's it. You're just giving. Don't ask to whom. So I shouldn't ask to whom am I giving. No, you're just giving. If there is an attachment, if there is a condition, precondition that I should give to this people, that people, like that, then what Buddha has put there makes sense. That gives you merit, but you will come back. Yes. Yeah, Arif.
I can understand about not, seeing as yours after you've given. But in this particular case, or let's take an example of, I have some rabbits on the backyard. So I take some carrots, I put them near where they live. I want to see them eat it, because that's what I feel happy if they end up eating it. So after a day, I go check. When I see the carrot is not there, I feel, great, they've eaten it. So I feel happy about that. So in this case, similarly, if there are people who's read it, it would make it not worth the effort, but it makes it more, it means it's benefited people, right? Shouldn't that also make you happy versus 0? I mean, 0, you should not feel unhappy. But if you've seen people benefit a lot from it, it could make you happy. It doesn't mean you've taken it yours, right?
No. It's still a samisa sukha. There is sukha, there's samisa. It's mixed up. I can't call it as a niramisa, unmixed, impure. So, okay. It's pure. It's impure. There is a tinge of expectation there, right? See, you have given the carrot to the rabbit. You've done your duty. You've given. You're seeing them there. They have to survive the harsh conditions. So you took some, what we can say, compassion towards them. And you took some carrots and then laid it in front of their house. Whether they're going to eat it or not is their problem. Yes, Bobby, go ahead.
See, this is what I was saying in Anguttara Nikaya. Like he is, Buddha is saying about his foremost male lay disciples in different ways, the first one was Tabusa and Bala. Then among the donors, it was householder Anathapindika, Sudanta Anathapindika. And then he says that among those who give what is excellent is Mahanama the second. And among those who give what is agreeable is the householder Ugga of Vaishali. So that means that excellent. So what I understood from is that so now when you give to someone, as Ario was telling just now, like he knows this thing is being used properly, or he knows that whatever that donations is properly used, to your satisfaction. Definitely that identification is there, but at least at this stage, to generate that happiness, not to expect anything. So that just give that happiness, because that happiness is a condition for developing samadhi and eventually wisdom. So that is the only wish, like personally for me I have, is that not to get
fair. No, that is fair. But in this sutta, what I was talking about, right, you have to transcend that.
Yeah, but we can only, Buddha says that we can only transcend by going into that steps, right? We can get happiness we have to get happiness to develop samadhi, and samadhi to gain wisdom. So so not for any other benefits.
See, Bobby is like this. Initially I'm a stingy person. Okay, I'm very stingy. Somebody asks me a coffee, I will not give, because it's my coffee. I have bought it, so I will not give. Okay. So I have to, then some friend of mine convinces me, say that, Vilas, the coffee beans are not yours. Somebody is growing coffee beans, not you. And the ground is actually delivering coffee beans. It's not even the farmer who is growing the coffee beans. So how can you claim it as yours? Just because you went to the supermarket and bought the coffee powder. And then I feel that, yeah, what my friend says is right. And now I give coffee. Somebody asked me, Vilas, can you give me some coffee powder? I said, take it. Now I ask that person, were you happy with the coffee what I gave? The powder is good? He says, yeah, very good. Okay. Is that good to ask or not? Yes, it is good to ask. Definitely yes. But check your mind. Is it contracting or expanding? If it is expanding, no problems. That's the thing I need to check. Then comes another friend, same friend of mine. He says that, Vilas, I think you need to donate to some needy people. No, nobody's needy. All are cheaters. I'm telling you, they blah, blah, blah. Go on another side. They act like beggars, but you know what? That was this one. Then my friend says, Vilas, please understand. You have got this because you did something like this in the past. You're comfortable today because you did something like this in the past. I don't believe it. Okay, here is the deal. Look around and see. If you think you need something, it means you were never having it. If you look at it and you say that there is no need for this, it means that you are satisfied with it. Isn't it true? And I say, yes, my friend, what you say is right. I really don't need it. So when you really don't need it, why don't you give what you don't require yourself? And I say, yes. So needy means they need, I don't need. So I give someone who needs it. It's like gifting myself. I am that person, so I go and gift it. So this Dhamma friend of mine is helping me so much that he says that, hey, come on, give it. Then I give it. Then I ask them, whomever I have given, hey, did you find the product useful? Says, yes, thank you so much. If you want something, do let me know. Yes, sir, we will inform you. Because I am not in need. So I am giving. If I was in need, then I don't have to give. Because I'm not in need, I can give. So I give. Then the same Dhamma friend comes again, saying that, Vilas, I'll give you another suggestion. When you give, anyway you don't require, right? Why are you putting your name and giving to that? Everybody is needy in one way or the other. So why don't you do something where you quench the thirst of many people? And that's what I did. I went, thought about it. I said, okay, so many people are needy. I am the person who don't require anything. So why don't I gift myself to them? Isn't it the most surpassing thing of all? And that's true. Because I am of no need. There's no burden. So can I not remove the burden of others? Yes. But still I'll ask, how did I do? Did I talk well? Did I behave well? Are you happy? You have any questions? You have this. Shouldn't I ask? I should. That's fair. As long as it is bringing expansion to me, means heart, this expansive feeling, fine. If there's a contracting feeling, even a little, oh, I gave so much, but they were ungrateful. They didn't even ask me once. No, they are needy. When they are needy, they can or they might not be grateful. There's no need because they are needy. Only if someone is filled up wouldn't feel that. Yes, Bobby, go ahead.
See, now I understand what you're saying is that we should watch whether it is expanding or contracting. That is the criteria of giving dana. For example, like now metta or happiness is expansion. Brahma Vihara, it is a expansive type of quality. And when you are giving like a little bit of agitation or not happy, that is contraction. That is a general way of looking at it. I think from the way you are saying this. Now, for example, when you are giving to someone, as you said, there are a couple of criteria that you are confident that this person is a dhammic person. He's well developed in dhamma. He's talks so sensibly. He behaves so nicely. So you have this, even though it is from the time you are making the decision to make dana, you have all these positive qualities coming up in your mind. Confirming that this particular dana is, when the thought comes itself, is giving you happiness. When you are actually doing it, it brings you happiness. So all those times it is expanding, like in your words, it is expanding. And later on, when I think about it, that time also it is expanding. If I know that it is used properly, that time also it is expanding. So all those times it is expanding. Now, in the case of another person who is not a dhammic person, for example, but he is a needy person. He's not a dhammic person. He's needy person. But when you think about that, you confuse. Will he use it properly? Will he have any gratitude? But somehow, he knows that he's a needy person. Maybe he is a relative of you. And you have given that help to him, and then yeah, he actually used that help, so that you can be happy that he used that help. But later on, when you think about that, he might have not called you even once. He might have not shown any kind of so these all thoughts can come in an undeveloped, not so developed in a dhammic person, not an anagami, for example, not even a sutapanna. This can come. So, but when you in a fraction of a second it happens. But then again you think that, oh, he used that your help, and he's happy with that, for that some benefit is there, but it is not equal to the amount of happiness or the expansion, in your way expansion you are getting when you are really confirming that again and again, that the first donation which was given to a dhammic person is giving me all the more joyful and happiness. So it is expanding. So there is this comparisons are there, and before it completely goes, it is, I have to accept that for my personally, not I'm talking in line with an anagami person or a Buddha, that these thoughts come sometimes, not all the time, sometimes, and it gives that contraction and expansive feelings. So I think
Yes. No, that will be there, Bobby. That will be there. So what we need to do is we need to develop the ability to ignore the contracting feeling. That means we observe that observer effect, right? Yes, go ahead.
But if it is we need to remove that, definitely. But is it in the first case itself, we know that this is a noble person, this is where you, is it worth to give to that person than giving to anyone? Because when you are in a practicing mode.
Exactly, I agree. So now you should make a distinction of, you know, like this. One is a dharmic person who is on dharma or dhamma. So then you give, no problem, no thinking, nothing required, right? Because it's yielding that only. It's yielding to an expansion feeling. How many times you reflect upon that, you feel very expansive, right? This is straightforward. Now we come to somebody who is non-dharmic. Okay, he doesn't have gratefulness, he doesn't have even courtesy or anything like that, but he's needy. Just give to the needy. Just go by the neediness rather than all other attributes. You get the same expansive feeling when you take it a neediness of that. In that way we can break this problem, otherwise we'll start evaluating.
I really understand that, that is where I have to develop more, because over the period of time when I started coming into Dhamma, whenever I give donations to something connected with Dhamma, where I have confidence, I feel more happy. So expansion, as you say, it's expansion. But then I try to, developing a quality of to finding a needy person also, and then don't get attached to it, don't mind about how they are using it. So I think I should develop that quality. But the first one it seems like more safer, that you don't have to think about all those things. You are a little bit assured that this person or this community will use it properly. For example, when you give it to a Goenka institution, you have some kind of assurance that they will use that money properly. Than giving to, I come from a Christian background, you give it to a church, you don't you when you think about that, they might not use it wisely. So I don't know whether they're even needy also, so they have lots of money and everything. So
Correct.
this is
No, I understand. Just a second, Aryu, before you speak, let me finish what Bobby is saying. Yes, you're absolutely right. Like temples, churches, etc., etc. They already have. Okay, they don't seem to be needy. Okay, but you find a person or a family who seems needy. We go and give the temples, or we go and give the church. They're already rich, so they don't care. What we can presume is that if you give there,
but
yes,
but they keep telling that, they have this project, that project, this project.
same, yes, temples and churches and all other religious institutions have the same kind, right? Because they have to survive means they require patronage, and patronage is money, right? So you require. So basically, I can presume that it will be used for good. I can presume, but it's not need. Now, I want to give. Let's say there's a Cancer Society of India, as an example, or some other society, okay, or Red Cross Society. Should I go and give? Yes or no? It is irrelevant. Want to give, give. Don't want to give, don't give. Because by I not giving, they are not going to go pauper, or they have so many patrons, so they will take care.
And
Now,
also we don't know that where they are using it, how they are using it.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Now, what should I do then? I am not finding any person to give, or any person as needy per se. Where should I search for a needy person? If that is my problem, then what I should do is just close my eyes. Be it Cancer Society, be it Baptist institution, be it this institution, that temple, this church, or this religious convocation or consideration, blah blah blah. Just go and give, because it's all about act of giving. So you just gave something. So now I have two. One is a Dhamma person or Dhamma institution. One is a non-Dhamma institutions or people. As far as the expansive feeling goes, it doesn't matter whether Dhamma or no Dhamma. If I were to step back and see, the feeling is the same. It's giving. The only problem I'm having is I'm evaluating. This evaluation is causing me more misery than the act of giving itself. So I will do like this. I will treat both of them as a necessity or a need. And I give. No worries on both of them. I know anyway, if I do the first one, it's fair, like Goenka or something else. It's fine, because you're gaining. You can see you're gaining from that. So it makes more sense. Or that is my needy. I will make that as the need. So what I will do now, I will do another thing. I will start to do the preaching of the dana in my local community. Preaching, where I say that here is my teacher, here is this one. Whether they like, dislike, or whatever, I don't care. Just come once, and they say that no, we don't like any kind of religious thing. Okay, fine. So this is another way. of dana. Okay. So then I go by service, not by money. I go by service. Let me offer my service to the Dhamma. Whatever is needs to be done. For that, I need to go to some city or some place or something, some printing of pamphlet or this or that or whatever. I will do it and finish it. Right? Because I'm not finding the needy. Even in the Dhamma circle, I might not find that person needy. I just felt, and that person didn't accept. Fine. Next person. Next person. It's like you're taking food and going to people. Eat the food. They say no. Eat the food. What food? This is this food. I don't like it. Okay, next, 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 next. Patience and perseverance. Right? It's not yours. You're just carrying the food and asking, take it. And somebody takes it and they eat it and they feel very happy about it. Fine. Then they ask, from where did you get this food? That's the source. He gave me the food, which will remove you from hunger in future. Do you want to have that food? Oh yes, I need that food. I was looking so badly for that food. So what did you do? Now, instead of giving $1,000 or 1,000 rupees or whatever it is, you gave him something beyond that, which makes you more happy than giving something for the needy, because this is also needy. So the needy here is coming out of rebirth, which everybody has to have. So it doesn't matter. So even for my mother, I was doing it. She never used to accept. Only in the dying days, she started accepting that, yeah, what I'm saying makes sense. Okay. But I used to tell her. So I tried because I can see, I want any being shouldn't go in a wrong route because they will get born there. So that's the need. So if I keep that as my need, that's the highest position through which I can see. So now what is the state of the mind? It's so expansive. Now everyone come within that. What is that I'm talking? $1,000 here, $400 here, another $500 here. Leave it. Anyway, I'm having millions of dollars. On $500, what it would do to anyone? Take it. If he's using for good purpose, his karma. Using for bad purpose is his karma, but I've given it. That makes more sense. Whether I'm giving it to church or to temple or to whatever institution, all are needy because they are having rebirth. If they're careful, they will not be reborn in bad states. I only wish them not to have a bad state of existence because they all are needy. All are needy. Not even one person you can't say that is not needy. So that makes me cry. And then I have implemented Karaniya Metta Sutta. And because of that, I can enter into 4 Brahma Viharas. And I can see. So this becomes irrelevant. So I just changed my mindset. So it works. See, if I were to distinguish between me and you, then we have problem. Why? It becomes, I am a Hindu, you are a Christian. And then I might be trying to convert you, you're trying to convert me, and this and that, and so many things. But the need of the hour is to stop the rebirth process. Whether it is for me, or for you, or for Aryu, or for Ravindra, or for anyone. I have such a limited ability to help so many people, so many beings. Can I do it? And then what happens? It cuts off Bobby from my equation. It cuts Aryu from my equation. It cuts Ravindra from the equation, or any other person from equation. It makes me feel that they are me only. Like the only mother having only child. So I see everyone like that now, which is the highest in the mindset. So it pains that may they be born, if there is a rebirth, born in a better existence than what they are today. So let them donate, let them give, let them give, let them give, so that they expand. I was non-giver. Now I am a giver. How much I am enjoying, let them also enjoy. And that changes. So it's beautiful, right? It's my wish. But will this person do or not do? I can only wish. I can only say, let it happen. Right? And if it is, a little bit of food is taken by the needy who wanted to stop the rebirth process. If it works, why not? I did my try. Just like the child doesn't know there is fire, the mother is doing everything to pull back the child. Come on, you can't go there. No, the child says, I want to go. No, 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 don't go. You will burn yourself. And she protects. She doesn't think, let the child go. What's my problem? That's her child. In the same way, you get a feeling everybody is my children. Everyone, every being is my children. So let them not suffer. So you protect. So then that is the highest dana. Now there's no evaluation whether it's a needy or non-needy, because the neediness is coming from a number or some monetary or some material perspective. But rebirth is rebirth. Doesn't matter. See, now in the case of Ariyu, he is given so much. I can only wish that he gets an arhat. Why? Because he's done the right thing. Dana should help in Sila. Sila should help in Nekkhamma. Nekkhamma then should help him to move forward. With what? Then he should get Panya, wisdom. Then he should get Virya. Then it should help in Khanti. Then it should get him in Satya. Then it should come in Metta. Then Upekha. He's done right. He's done everything right. He started with this right intention of giving, 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 giving. Beautiful. May the entire merit go to him, so that he can cut from the samsara. That's the only wish. It's not that Ariyu is good and he is bad and that person is ugly. No, there's no good, bad, and ugly. Each one of us are suffering. Of what? Suffering, if you see, if we don't get at that moment what we should get, like a job or health or a wife or a children or this or that, you see the amount of struggle one undergoes. It's an enormous struggle. So may they not struggle. So if I see anyone who is not struggling, I feel so glad. At least I saw someone who is not struggling for food, someone who is not struggling for shelter, someone not struggling for clothing, medicines, comforts. No, we will also leave. It's already 9:40, so let's quit in one just minute.
Yeah, you can finish, and I have to go to my son. I'll leave it on.
No. You can end the thing. So that's all about dana, is that we have to see the highest. Like you can put Sariputta, Moggallana, all those people who have donated so much, compared to that is nothing. And then the mind expands by itself, seeing that, I have so great people who have done without thinking. Wow. So it will work. Okay, good then. So let us allow our friend to go. And anyway, Bobby, we are going to meet in the evening. If possible, we can continue some more on that, if still there is something to discuss. All right. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Ravindra, you could speak, but
Thank
we
you.
will meet again.
Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye.